So we're at Lydden here then for the 250cc event from the meeting in 2014. An 8-lap race here before us. Just waiting for the starter to give the signal, and away we go. Just trying to see who gets the early breakaway. Packed field, quite a variety of machinery out here in this one. Andy Hunt is the early leader, number 100 on the all-white Ducati 250. That's a useful advantage he's carved out already. A couple of Ducatis in red livery behind him. Just trying to get the idea of those in a moment. Nick Kennett is one of them. In fact, it's Nick Kennett that slides through on the inside of the other, who was the 94 machine of Jeff Mills. So themselves out around the left-hander at Neville's elbow. Up the hill now towards North Bend. Andy Hunt, race leader, tips it right-handed. Tips the apex of the corner. Right down behind the bubble. Nick Kennett still in that second place. In third it is Jeff Mills. Andy Hunt then approaching Paddock Bend for the first time. Roar of the Ducati singles. They always sound like a much bigger machine than the 250 Ducatis. With one back, he can get a very good start on the 250 Benelli, and he's trying to work his way through. One rider very wide there, but just to keep it on the island. So looking towards the front. On the over slope, it is the race leader, Andy Hunt, we pick up. And in hot pursuit of him, it's still Nick Kennett in second place on the Mach 1 Ducati. And ominously in third place, Mervyn Stratford on that extraordinarily quick 249 Rudge of his. 57 there is the Greaves machine of Jack Scrivener. A regular competitor at these VMCC meetings. Looking towards the front again, Andy Hunt still being pursued, and that man in third place is closing in, Mervyn Stratford. He wants second, tries to wrest it away from Nick Kennett, who's come under all sorts of pressure. What an age difference between those two machines. Mervyn Stratford on the Rudge, it's a 1934 vintage machine. Nick Kennett's got a 1972 Ducati, but I don't think the Rudge knows too much about the difference being a handicap of any sort. The Dover slope they come then. Andy Hunt. Is Nick Kennett getting marginally closer? It is marginal if he's any closer at all. Might be just a fraction. Andy Hunt may have eased the pace a little bit. Now he's carved out a lead, of course. Just keep a weather eye on things. Yes, he's definitely closing Nick Kennett. So too is the man in pursuit behind him, Mervyn Stratford. Right on the tail of Nick Kennett now, and the pair of them are catching Andy Hunt. Well, Andy Hunt's Steelcraft Ducati. It's a 1964 vintage machine. Nick Kennett we're looking at there. Still right behind him, Mervyn Stratford. Really the winner going to come from this leading trio, you would think. Pulling away from the rest of the field. There's Jack Scrivener again on the Greaves. Looking down the Canterbury Straight. Good advantage for him though over his pursuers. That man seems to like that wide line there. It's obviously deliberate. Mistake, we saw it earlier. Well, it's closed right up now for the leading trio. We're looking at Nick Kennett, number 159. All sorts of pressure for him. He's the sandwich between Mervyn Stratford and race leader Andy Hunt. And Mervyn Stratford dives down the inside here to go towards North Bend hairpin. You wouldn't believe that the 1934 Rudge could outpower a 1972 Ducati going up the hill, but that's exactly what happened there. It's no slouch, that machine, that Rudge of Mervyn Stratford, and he's no slouch as a rider either. Looking at him now going through paddock. Now to set about the task of passing Andy Hunt. Nick Kennett though is not finished yet in third place. Always a dilemma when you've got yourself in a second in this situation. 97 there, another of Ducati's, Rob Butler the rider. It's Ducati Daytona, 1963 vintage. And there goes Jack Scrivener down the straight again. Still Andy Hunt holds that advantage from Mervyn Stratford, who's trying to hold the tight inside line here at the elbow. He's going to go through. Door left wide open by Andy Hunt. The invitation accepted by Mervyn Stratford. Andy Hunt though did get the corner speed exit and therefore get good drive going up the hill, but hasn't managed to put that to any advantage because Mervyn Stratford is beginning to pull away. Andy Kennett now asking the questions. Second place man Andy Hunt. So Kennett third place there behind Andy Hunt. Straight to go again, and Rick Wambach is closing up. Rick Wambach on the Benelli 250. I was saying earlier that the winner would come from the first three riders, but I wasn't accounting for the dramatic progress Rick Wambach. It's Jack Scrivener once more. A lonely ride for Jack, he's riding it steadily. Getting away now at the front, Mervyn Stratford, and Nick Kennett bids to go inside Andy Hunt and succeeds. Andy Hunt might, when he sees that, have to revise his line going into the elbow, because it's the second time he's left the door open. Riders have got underneath him. Look over the shoulder from race leader Mervyn Stratford. He needn't worry though, he's got a decent advantage here. Doesn't look like being caught. The right-hand paddock he goes. Kennett second, Andy Hunt third. Rick Wambach now closing right up in fourth position. Well, I don't think he can get to the front, but he might be able to overhaul the two men immediately in front of him. As we look at 129, another Ducati machine, that's Charlie Davies. The Ducati Monza of 1960 vintage. So over slow. Race leader Mervyn Stratford well clear now. The progress of Rick Wambach in that fourth position as Nick Kennett again goes through on the tight inside line on Andy Hunt. Now Rick Wambach contrastingly sweeps wide on the exit, whilst the other two fight it out for positions. He passes the pair of them. Rick Wambach up in the second position on the Benelli. 72 250cc Benelli machine on Rick Wambach. They go to give another lap. Checking back to see what's happening to the rest of the riders. Down the hill comes the 97 machine of Rob Butler. It's a very nicely turned out Ducati. Coordination between riders, leathers and colour machine. There's the race leader there, Mervyn Stratford. A little puff of smoke from that machine. Rick Wambach in second place. Andy Hunt this time, he decides to tighten the tight inside line, so he is learning. And Nick Kennett that finds himself back now into fourth place. Leader Mervyn Stratford meantime comes out of North Bend hairpin, heading now down towards Paddock Bend. With a good ride from Mervyn Stratford. Wambach will not be able to close that down in the small time remaining, because the race in its twilight stages now. There again is Jack Scrivener on his way up towards North End. As we look at the 129 machine of Charles Davies into paddock. There is Rob Butler behind him. Getting the back markers there, race leader Mervyn Stratford. Nick Kennett in third place, Andy Hunt in fourth again. These two swapping positions, great regularity. Hunting a look down the inside again into North Bend, but doesn't quite manage to make it. Coming down to start the final lap this time. Mervyn Stratford seems to have secured that win for himself with the lead that he's carved out. Back though, won't give up. And Andy Hunt has been tailed off a bit now by Nick Kennett. Maybe an error up at North Bend hairpin cost him, because he's now down into a fourth place. It looks so he can't make another challenge for third from. There's Jack Scrivener again on the greaves. Not too many of those around these days. So here's the race leader, Mervyn Stratford, 47 on the Rudge. And back is closing. Well, he must be thinking if this were a 10-lap race, he might have had a chance, but probably going to have to settle for second here. Ben hairpin then. The race leader, here he is, Mervyn Stratford. Going to be comfortable in the end. Mervyn Stratford for the final time through Paddock Bend takes the Rudge to victory. Second place for the charging Rick Wambach. Third in the end went to Nick Kennett, and then Andy Hunt took fourth. Taking a few of the rest of the machines coming down. 129 is Charles Davies just ahead of Rob Butler, who's trying to challenge here on the final lap at the final corner. Better of it in the end. And it's going to be Charles Davies to take that position. Rob Butler though, hand it to him. It's Jack Scrivener then coming down the hill for the final time. Another race completed for Jack Scrivener and the trusty 250 Greaves. come through.